Okay, so you want to take cash out to remodel your house. You probably got some sort of postcard in the mail that was like, don't you deserve a nicer kitchen? Look, or it's pool, it's always a pool. I love the pool mailers, those are my favorite, where it's like, wouldn't this be nice? And it has like kids jumping in the water and you start to visualize it and you're like, your husband's barbecuing and the kids are having great and a pool is gonna change your life. Okay, great. Rates are low, you have equity, let's get that pool. However, there's a couple of things I want to recommend that I always recommend to my clients before we take that cash out. And the reason I do this is because I want to make sure that we're doing this once, because every time you have to refinance, it costs you money. So we want to go into the project with our eyes wide open so that you know what to expect with your monthly payment for the long term. How much is that pool really going to cost you? So here are my 3 top tips to make it so that if you do a cash out refinance to remodel, it goes the way you want. Number 1, identify the projects you want to do and see if they lead to other projects. Yes. So let me give you a personal example. I wanted to redo my windows in my house. And I was like, oh, I'll just swap them out for energy efficient windows. This will be easy. No. So swapping the windows out, because of the shape, I would have to do new siding. Because of where they were located, it led to a new kitchen backsplash, a new bathtub, a new shower. It just went on and on and on. Now, if I had called my lender and said, hey, I need to take out cash for windows, and I only thought the windows were $50,000, I would have had a really big problem because the windows led to all these other projects. And that's what I see happen a lot is I'll get a call from someone where they're like, oh, I took out cash with my lender and I thought it was enough, but I need more. Can you help me? Yes. So we're going to try to avoid that. So number 1, identify the projects and see if they lead to other projects. Okay. Now, number 2, pick your finishes now. Yeah. Like do the full Pinterest board, go to the stores, do all your research now before you meet with a contractor, before you talk to me, because in order to get those real numbers, they need to know what your finishes are. So what I mean is if you want to redo a bathroom, identify the tiles you want to use. Is it marble? Is it tile? What are you doing? To the point where you can say to a contractor when you meet with them, I want XYZ tile. Okay? You're putting in a new toilet. What toilet are you putting in? A new bathtub. What bathtub? And is it changing the shape of your bathroom? Because if it changes the shape of your bathroom, there's different plumbing. It just all goes like this. So you want to make sure that before you meet with a contractor, you have as clear as a picture as possible. Yes. Okay. And number 3, meet with the people you're expecting to do this work. Now, if you're a do-it-yourselfer, that's great. You need to do all that research, but also figure out how much time it's going to take you to do it. And if you have to bring in a big gun, how much it's going to cost. Because a lot of people are very talented with do-it-yourself projects and a lot of people are not. Like I would be a great example of someone who should never try to do anything like that in their life. Because yeah, that's a story for another time. So you want to make sure you're meeting with the people you're expecting to do the work. So you would be telling them, hey, look, I want to do my kitchen, my bathroom, and my roof. This is what I want my kitchen to look like. This is what I want my bathroom to look like. Go to Pinterest, use pictures as examples. Have the actual materials. If you've picked out a countertop, you can get a sample at the store of what that countertop is. Have as much put together as possible so the contractor can give you as accurate a bid as possible. Now, a lot of people go, oh, you don't really need to pick out your finishes. They'll give you allowances. No, just don't. Please don't. Just pick it out now. You're gonna have to pick it out no matter what, so you might as well pick it out up front. Because what I have found is that allowances don't always work. So for instance, let's say they gave you $15 a square foot for tile, okay? And you find a tile that's $10 a square foot. And you're like, this is great, it's $10, I'm saving money. Well, the tile you picked out may require more labor, or there may be something about it that makes it so it's actually more expensive than that $15 tile. So you want to have that stuff picked out as much as possible up front so that when you meet with the professionals, they have the information to give you an accurate bid, okay? Now, once you have all this data, that is when you reach out to your lender. And the reason is that when you're talking about taking money out to do a remodel, there's different ways for us to take it out. So for instance, if you don't have a lot of equity in your property, I'm going to be looking at an FHA renovation loan or a conventional renovation loan, because those programs don't require as much equity in the property. Okay. Now, the other thing a lender is going to be looking at is, what is your current interest rate? That's very important. So for instance, and this is just a random examples, if your interest rate right now is 4.5%, but I could refinance you and give you the cash you need for your project at 3.99%. Awesome. That's great, right? That's great. Okay, that makes sense. We like that. That's pretty. But there may be a case where maybe you have an $800,000 loan and you have an interest rate of 3.375 on a 30-year fixed because you locked at the most magical time in the last 5 years, and you only want to take out 50 grand. Doing a cash out refinance where your rate would go up wouldn't be a good idea. It would be better if you did a home equity line of credit. Okay, so you really want to make sure that you talk with your lender about all three options. A lot of people just go, oh, I'll do a home equity line. Well, if your rate's 4.5, no, you should do a cash out refinance, because then you're saving money on everything. That's great. But if your rate is really, really low and it can't be matched with a cash out refinance, a HELOC can make a lot of sense. So I hope those 3 tips help. I really hope you follow them, because I can tell you from my personal experience that having those 3 things put together could save you so much time, heartache, and money. Thanks for watching.